What up? What up? What up? It's your man, Boss Gang VIP, back with the weekly money watch. Man, I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I am definitely enjoying mine. It is Memorial Day week, so we all got an extra day off. The stock market is shortened this week, which for me is an absolutely wonderful thing. I remember there was a time when I first started trading stocks when I was disappointed whenever I didn't have the opportunity to trade. But then I learned over the course of time that you do not have to trade every day to be a profitable trader in the market. This is going to be a absolutely fantastic week. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic watch list call today. It is going to be a little different than the normal calls that we have. I am actually going to go over multiple tickers today, not necessarily just give out levels, because I want you guys to be informed investors and understand the industries that are leading us into the future. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video. If you have any questions about anything that I say during this video, make sure to put them in the comments below. Make sure to have your pen and pads ready. Of course, this is video, so you can always rewind it. If you don't understand something, you can definitely look it up, or you can ask me, and if I have time, I'll make sure to answer those questions for you. Without further ado, let's get to it. As we always do, we start off by taking a look at the Roth IRA. We actually added to our positions. Everything is going absolutely according to plan. So if you're interested in learning to invest the right way, make sure to check out our Road to $1 million new money stock portfolio. It is going to definitely help you get started on the right track. You may be a business owner. You may need to provide some kind of retirement for your employees or something like that, right? So if you know somebody like that, or maybe you are that person, I'm glad you're here, but refer the channel to the people who you think might benefit the most. I'm actually going to get into some calculations next week. There was actually someone who told me that $100 to $1 million was clickbait. And you got to understand, a lot of people have a have a scarcity mindset. So they actually believe that $1 million is not only impossible, but they believe it's actually a lot of money, when we know that in the world we live in, $1 million is just simply not a lot of money, right? But we are going to set ourselves up to win in the future. And I'm going to actually break down some of the math on my future video. So also, I'm requesting, if anybody knows anything about YouTube and algorithms, I'm trying to improve the channel as much as possible. So definitely, I'm looking for some people. So if you can help me out with that, definitely make sure to hit me up. Let's get into the economics calendar for the week. Market close Monday, obviously, today. Tuesday, Fed President Loretta Mester. Michelle Bowman speaking Japan, S&P home prices, consumer confidence. Some more Fed speak. Wednesday, Fed speak. Bostic speaks Wednesday. Thursday, initial jobless claims, GDP first revision, advanced retail inventories, pending home sales. Some more Fed speakers Friday. Personal income, PCE year over year. This is what everyone is going to be looking forward to this Friday. So I expect it to be a great week overall, historically, going according to the stock almanac. The day after Memorial Day, the Dow has been up 23 of the last 28, but down 7 of the last 9. So overall, the market is bullish over 2/3 of the time. Memorial Day week Dow has been down 16 of the last 28, but up 12 straight from 1984 to 1995. Bullish most times on Wednesday. And then it says start to look for NASDAQ MACD sell signals. I'm not a technical trader. We know the market does whatever it wants. I simply like to follow price action. But Thursday, overall, more bullish than not. And then we should kind of get some selling going into Friday. But then good news is after that, the market tends to be bullish. So the market has been bullish. I see no reason why the market won't continue to be bullish. I do believe that the PCE on Friday will be the big event that everyone will be looking for. So I'm looking forward to it as well. Let's get into what we're going to talk about this week. New York Times article, Cannabis Tops Alcohol as Americans' daily drug of choice. A new study shows a growing number of people are regularly using cannabis while frequent alcohol consumption has remained stable. I'm not going to get into the entire article, but that's kind of what we're going to focus on right now. And I don't know if you heard the news, but I'm actually going to get into some news, NBC News. Justice Department takes major step toward rescheduling marijuana. In a video Thursday, President Joe Biden said he is committed to righting the wrongs of a failed approach to marijuana. I'm not going to get into the politics of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris or whatnot, but I'm actually just going to read the news for what it is. President Biden, too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. So today, the Justice Department is taking the next steps to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 drug under federal law. Kamala Harris, Vice President, President Biden and I have vowed to address injustices in marijuana policy. Today, our administration takes another step forward. Again, I'm going to get into the politics of it, but they did actually have a video conference. I know you're kind of here listening to my voice. I'm kind of laughing a little bit.
As President Biden said during his campaign, no one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana. That's why in 2022, President Biden requested that DOJ and HHS review how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. Today, the administration is taking a major step toward reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug under federal law. If finalized, marijuana will no longer hold the higher level classification it currently holds over fentanyl and meth, drugs driving our nation's overdose epidemic. And it will remove burdensome, long-standing barriers to critical research. This announcement builds on the work President Biden has already done to pardon a record number of federal offenses for simply possessing marijuana. His categorical pardon for federal offenses of simple possession in October 2022 and December 2023 lifted barriers to housing, small business loans, and more for thousands of Americans. The reality.
So I'm not going to play the whole video, but if you want to check out the video, NBCnews.com, politics, and search marijuana, Joe Biden, Justice Department. I'm going to get into the actual fedregister.gov documents of what we're looking for. Federal Register, the Daily Journal of the United States Government, schedules of controlled scheduling, controlled substance rescheduling of marijuana, agency, DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, Department of Justice, action and notice of proposed rulemaking. The Department of Justice proposes transfer marijuana from Schedule 1 of the Controlled Substance Act to Schedule 2 consistent with Health and Human Services, that marijuana has a currently accepted medical use, as well as HHS's views about marijuana's abuse, potential level of physical or psychological dependence. Let's get into what we care about, the dates. Comments must be submitted electronically or postmarks on or before July 22nd. Again, it's on or before, so news may come before July 22nd, 2024. Interested persons may file a request or hearing waiver of an opportunity. So, yeah, any comments before July 22nd? July 22nd. Of course, we like to buy the rumor, sell the news a lot of times, but I'll actually get into some of the price action. Now, what's interesting, if you want to check this out, federalregister.gov documents, you can stop, pause the video, and take a look at this. I actually talked about marijuana stocks previously on our watch list, and I talked about MSOS, and we'll get into what some of those charts actually look like. It's pretty crazy because once we actually put those on a watch list, they actually got some pops. Now, I don't always know what's happening, but a lot of times we can just follow the price action and kind of see what's happening. Obviously, I'm a long-term investor, so when I look at stocks, I look at that as a way to understand what's happening in the price action, and then I can take advantage of options. So this week, what I'm going to do is actually go through multiple wheat stocks. Let me see if I can get a full screen on this. There we go. Got a full screen for you guys. If you don't have a stock watch list of wheat stocks, I got some for you. I have some for you. You can see a lot of green over there. A lot of green over there in a lot of these wheat stocks. Now, I'm not saying that because they were green in the last trading session that they will be green now, but we definitely want to just kind of take a zoomed out look on a lot of these charts. So if you need to as well, pause the video, write these tickers down. I'm not saying that you should buy any of these, but these are the ones you need to be taking a look at. This is going to cover a lot, and we're actually going to get into a bunch of them. I believe the one owned highest by institutions probably is JAZZ, but there's a lot of opportunities through here. And actually some of these are over the counter, so there may be some opportunities that you did not exist. It's always, you want to make sure you're doing your due diligence about each company, making sure that you know what the data is on these companies, what the fundamentals are for these companies, and then what their case may be going forward in the future. So make sure to always do your due diligence. If you actually look at this list, I want you to see from a dollars and cents perspective. A lot of these are really cheap: $4, $35, $32.8. A lot of these are over-the-counter penny stocks, right? Even stocks that we know like Tilray at $1.85. Now, obviously, the price of the stock does not necessarily reflect the value of the company. You still got to study that. But from a dollars and cents perspective, if you can find things that have a low dollar cost and they're at a good price, and you have actual real life catalyst and things that can change the outlook of these stocks, you definitely have to pay close attention to that. So let's get into some of these stocks. TS and DF, some of these are going to be optionable, some are not, but we'll get into some of the fundamentals. And so TSNDA, TerraSyn Corporation. This is in Ontario. Cultivates, processes, and sells medical and adult use cannabis in Canada and Toronto. Okay, cool. AAWH. See, this one's currently 2 up on the year, being definitely consolidating. So I got all macro charts up: year, quarter, month, and week. Let's go to analyze some fundamentals on this. Broadway, 16th floor, New York, New York. This Ascend Wellness engages in cultivation, manufacturing, distribution of cannabis, consumer packaged goods in the United States, pre-rolls, flowers, whatnot. So you definitely want to know what these companies are, where they reside. So we see Canada, we see New York, and that's always important in investing because at any time you want to make sure you're in the right markets at the right time, just like anything else. VFF, Village Farms International, British Columbia. Village Farms International produces, sells greenhouse grown tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. Operates through four segments: produce, cannabis US, and energy. The company also produces and supplies cannabis products to other licensed providers and provincial governments in Canada and internationally. So we're just gonna go through some of these real quick. Let me show you what the chart looks like. Currently, inside year, inside month, 2 up on the quarter. Roar Cannabis, been on a strong move. ACB, 2 up on a quarter, 2 up on a year. Currently, started the week was 2 down on the week last week. Let's go to fundamentals. This is Alberta, Edmonton. Aurora Cannabis produces, distributes cannabis through Canada. So we're not going to go through each one of these as far as the fundamentals, or just what the companies are, but these are things you are definitely going to want to look at for sure. CBSTF, over the counter, GLA, SF. You see this chart is just been absolutely on fire. Let's go to the fundamentals. Glasshouse Brands, Long Beach. Shout out to Long Beach. Glasshouse Brands, subsidiaries operating in cannabis, retail, wholesale, biomass, and cannabis related. Other thing you can look at is some of the trades and just kind of see how much they're actually being traded. So not bad value. About 467,000, 468,000. Not bad. Not bad at all. Emerald Expositions, very, very strong chart. Been in the uptrend, obviously, 2 up on the year. Inside quarter, double inside month. Check out some fundamentals on this. This is in New York. B2B franchise publication, digital media products, business information. They have it in communication services. I don't think they have the updated information, but yeah, EEX is one for sure. They need to update this information. Come on, Schwab. JAZZ, Jazz, large institutional holdings on this one for sure. Analyze some fundamentals here. Oh, they're not putting the fundamentals. That's pretty interesting. Grow G, I track Grow G every day. They're calling it wheat, I guess, consumer discretionary. Hydroponic gardening stores in the United States. Grow generation, all through the United States. You got, that's what the chart's looking like inside year, inside month. 2 down week. So a lot of these are going straight up. A lot of these have some downside, but the actual thing is they're still higher than they were. So that's the whole thing about it. We always talk about this on the chart when we look down. As long as things are higher, they got to pop off the news. And if you actually look at what the price action is, that's a pretty nice move from a investor standpoint. You know, even now. So if something was $1.25 in July, and then currently it's at 222. That's an absolutely monstrous return, right? So that's the kind of stuff we want to look at. SOX. This is MSOS leveraged here. Let's see. Refi at a 3-2-1 year, 2 down on a quarter currently. So a lot of these, I want to see if we can get more and more discounts, you know. But if you look at charts like this, it's like really, really, really squeezing. So of course, what we got to do is draw broadening formations on different ones. But obviously, there's a lot to go through, so you're going to have to definitely do your homework. But you want to be informed what these companies are, so that anything happens in the future, this won't be the first time you've heard of any of these companies, and you'll kind of have a little bit of understanding about the industry as a whole, who the competitors are, and so when you hear the names, you can kind of cross-reference each one, right? You just want to be an informed investor, whether trying to trade shares or option, or just understand what's going on in the world around you as a whole. You got YOLO, Weed ETF. Let me see. I don't know if they'll have any fundamentals on this one. Oh, they do. This is Best of Maryland Advisor Shares, Pure Cannabis ETF, managed by Advisor Shares Investment. CRL, Cresco Labs, you may be familiar. Chicago, Illinois, IIPR, Park City, Utah. Focused on specialized properties, leased to experienced state licensed operators for regulated cannabis facilities. OGI, subsidiary engaging in the sale of cannabis-derived products in Canada. See what some of these charts are looking like. Tilray. It's a lot of squeezing, a lot of squeezing, a lot of squeezing, a lot of consolidating. Now, it's interesting because there's going to be a lot of different beneficiaries if things are actually legalized at one point. One of them is going to be the banks. There are a lot of unbanked marijuana distributors, or just people who aren't allowed to put money into bank accounts, and they're also not allowed to use their business for tax write-off. So this is one of the things that can definitely help out the economy, just simply based on the tax dollars and the money that will inflow to these banks. It will be trillions of dollars of money inflowing into these banks if marijuana is eventually legalized. So that's pretty interesting. Scott's Miracle Grow, double inside ear, very, very interesting chart here. We know Scott's Miracle Grow, right? Very, very interesting. So we'll see what's happening there. If you actually look at the news, I don't know if you're familiar with the news that may have caused this stock to drop. I used to work for LA County Park and Recreation, so go check out the news that may have caused the stock to drop. But we did hit some lows in October, and it has pushed up, gave some opportunities in February, and we'll see if we get like a 50% push back up. But check out the news that made it drop. Another one, CGC, Canopy Growth Corporation. I know people are familiar with this one as well. Fundamentals, Ontario, Canopy Growth Corporation, subsidiaries, cannabis, hemp products for recreational medical purpose. And you can check that out if that interests you. HYFM Hydro Farm. You may be familiar with Hydro Farm. Cultivating plants, farm, all that good stuff over there. We know Hydro Farms, industrials. Obviously, MSOS, Advisor Share, Pure US, Canada, ETF. Anytime you look at the ETF, you want to see what the holdings are. Turning Point Brands, distributes products. The company operates 3 segments: Zigzag Products, Stoker Products. You may be familiar with some of that stuff. That's Turning Point. You see what the charts look over there. Pretty solid. BHC, actually talked about this one before. Bausch and Lomb, check out the reasons. So a lot of time when you see these drops, I want you to check out the reason why they dropped. Yeah, maybe some opportunities over there. Let's see. Chronos Group. A lot of people may be familiar. Strong quarterly action, 2 up on the year. Over the counter TCNNF been strong, 2 up on the year. Came up off these lows, 342, 1045. Hell of a move over there. GTBIF been pretty nice. It's currently 2 up on the year. Pull back, just like a lot of wheat stocks, but they are higher than they were. Weed, WEED, listed funds, Round Hill Cannabis ETF. So Round Hill ETF, weed, and VRNOF, Verano Holdings. Verano Holdings operates as a vertically integrated multi-state cannabis operator in the United States. So this is Chicago, Illinois. So again, stop the video, check out these weed lists. As always, mark up your charts. What we want to do to get the best price on stocks is we always want to make sure we are looking to the downside, because I am actually someone who likes to be proactive and spot the opportunities when things are going down, right? So when we look at these charts and we're trying to see if we can find reversals, I'm not the person who likes to necessarily buy when we have these green candles. I'm the person who likes to buy on these red, because what ends up happening is when you buy on these green candles, you're typically the person who's getting caught up in those pullbacks, right? It's very, very psychological. I won't even get into that, but make sure to mark up your charts. If you don't know how to mark up the charts, say, I don't know how to mark up the charts. Please show me how to mark up the charts. And we will get into some more lessons about that. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can get all the updates as soon as they are available. I am looking forward to having an absolutely wonderful week, and I hope you are as well. If you learned something, let me know that I learned something. Make sure to get the watch list and rewind. Do your research. As always, I just want to help you guys out. I'm looking forward to having a great week. This is your man, Boss Gang VIP. So up investing, buy low, sell high. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.